Hi, I apologize if this is a duplicate, but I've been locked out of Facebook. I'm still learning how to create a live Facebook. So I didn't have access to Facebook, but I'm now back in their good graces. So here goes. Today I'm going to talk about the disconnect between diets and happiness. How many diet books must we buy before we realize we're falling short? How many more years must we repeat the cycle of dieting hard, only and losing the weight only to regain it? And then we get stuck criticizing ourselves because we failed to keep it off, because we're on that proverbial roller coaster of dieting. Have you noticed that over the years, our narrow in life has gotten more and more narrow and more negative to the point our lives become about our weight? That our weight now determines how attractive we feel. The scale determines whether or not we have a good day. Is this really what we want our lives to be like, to be about? Hi, I'm Peggy Dunn of Peggy Dunn Coaching. Today I want to talk about the disconnect between diets and happiness. Diet information is everywhere. It's on the bookshelves, TV advertisements, internet sites, even well meaning advice from family and friends. And we know what we should do. We should eat more vegetables and fruits, avoid excessive salt, reduce sweetened drinks, high calorie foods. We know we should exercise more. Yet, what we do know and what we actually do have become two different things. Over 60% of us are overweight. So, if it was as simple as simply knowing what we should eat less and move more, we would have done it by now. There's something standing in the way between our diet and exercise goals, and that something is called the mindset. So, over the future Facebook Lives, not going to focus on diet and exercise till later. Instead, we're going to focus on getting to the root cause of emotional eating. We are going to put diet and exercise into proper perspective because diet and exercise is simply a larger part of our lives. Most of us live like we're going to live forever. We're waiting for the day when we're thin enough, good enough. Now we can give ourselves permission to start living. Take those vacations. What if we didn't have to wait until we were thin enough, good enough to live fully now? Yet living in the moment can be one of the hardest things we do. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's call her Sandra. When she was 5 years old, she just wanted to play. She wanted to have others play with her. She wanted to climb trees, walk on the logs in the creek. She liked playing soccer with her dad. She loved playing in the creek with her sister. She enjoyed her cheesecake, hated mint ice cream. She danced a lot. She sang a lot. She cried a lot. After all, at age 3 to 5, things didn't go very well for her. They didn't go her way. She was just 3 years old. It revolved around her. She was a complex bundle of emotions, energy, and movement. She was whole and complete. Fast forward to today when she's 40 years old. She's still whole and complete, but she doesn't know it. She hates her body. She avoids looking in the mirror. She feels her thighs rubbing together as she walks. She asks herself angrily, "Why did I eat so much at dinner?" Her sister says she should look after herself, and she even recommends and gives her the latest diet book. Sandra watches TV, Hallmark Channel, and watches other actors fall in love with other actors. She's alone, lonely, and wants to find love. So she opens the book her sister recommended and had given to her. She reads it and says, I'm going to be disciplined this time. I'm going to be thin, even if it kills me. 2 or 3 months later, she has lost 25 pounds. Her sister tells her, Wow, you look great. You know what? I have a friend I think would be perfect for you. Sandra knows she should feel happy, but to her surprise, she feels angry instead and confused. Her coworkers at work comment on how good she looks, but none of it is making her happy. Now, instead of feeling satisfied with the weight, she wonders, what exactly did they think of me before? She gets discouraged. She stops losing weight. The excitement has gone. After all, this diet says she can't have her favorite dessert, cheesecake, or even the other foods that she likes, like rice, sweet potatoes. She's feeling hungry and irritable at times. And the hardest part is after losing all that weight, she still feels lonely. Lonelier than ever. Only now she's thinking, what did everybody think about me before I lost this weight? One night, she thinks to herself, I'm tired of being a good girl. I want some cheesecake. So she sits down and has a piece of cheesecake. Unfortunately, over the next few weeks, she gradually has more and more of her favorite foods and ends up going off the diet and regaining the weight. She puts on 27 pounds. She sits in her armchair watching TV and sees the advertisement about exercise equipment that promises to make your belly flat in just 15 minutes a day. She thinks to herself, maybe this is the answer. So let me ask you, what makes our focus in life lose sight of everything except our diet and weight? What happened to the rest of our life? Why do we keep returning to the latest diet and exercise schemes when we know full well that in the long term they don't work? The answer is we're human. We all get stuck at times. We become inflexible. We lose touch with what we care about. We act in self defeating ways that ultimately increase our pain and suffering. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Our health is a direct reflection of our relationship with ourselves. It is the foundation of everything we will be covering during our time together. Because you can't separate your health from yourself. Your stomach isn't some separate part of you, neither are your thighs. They're all aspects of one person, you. You are a person who loves and feels lonely, a person who gets stressed and can feel relief. You're human, and that means you're a bundle of opposites and paradoxes. There's so much more than your weight or shape. You have far more complex needs that can be minimized by simply reducing the size of your stomach. And this is why diets fail. They only focus on what you put in your mouth. They tell you eat this, but not this. They act as if you're nothing more than an eating machine. Oh, if only it were that simple. No one would have a weight problem. It wouldn't be normal to be overweight. There wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar diet industry. There wouldn't be over 125,000 products, diet-related products for sale. So we're going to learn some of the things that help us get to the root cause of our emotional eating. We're going to use some of the latest cutting scientific principles to not only help you get healthier and lose the weight, we're also going to help you connect with what you truly care about to widen that focus. We're going to help you find the strength and the courage to create a complete life, one that is rich, full of purpose, and full of love. Now, we're going to begin with 3 basic crazy assumptions. Assumption number 1: there's nothing wrong with you. Say what? How can I say that? Think about it a moment. How do you define being okay with yourself? Expectations, yours or someone else's. Culture teaches us humans should be naturally happy. I mean, just look at all the Hollywood movies, fairy tales, novels. They all end with, and they lived happily ever after. Good triumphs over evil. Love conquers all. What happens when life intervenes and it doesn't go that way? We make it mean something bad about us. Not true, and we're going to explore that in the future. The weight loss industry would certainly have us believing there's something wrong with us. After all, if we would just do their particular program, eat their way, purchase this particular exercise equipment, we would have the body we desire. We would be happy at that point. Assumption number 2: you have everything you need inside of you to succeed. Because first, you get to decide what success looks like to you. Many of us define success by outward standards. Society. Want to make more money to achieve financial freedom? What's the number to be reached? You want to have a thin body? Well, eat less and exercise more. Seriously, if you were to Google how to become a success, you would actually find a list of characteristics, traits that are already within you, such as commitment, stepping out of your comfort zone, believing in yourself. Get this: take care of yourself, eat healthy, move more, because they recognize that's the foundation. Some of the things we have to give up to be successful include short-term thinking, perfectionism, negative thoughts, toxic people, and of course, our excuses. Assumption number 3: you are already whole and complete just the way you are. We're born with a sense of wholeness, but we lose it as we grow older because we become separate from others. And we seek to become whole again by either adding or subtracting to ourselves. Again, defining ourselves by the standards of society, culture. I find it interesting that everything begins with taking care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Now, I hope I've given you something to think about this week. Let me know in the comments below what this has you thinking about. And I look forward to exploring this and other concepts and how they relate to our health and our happiness, confidence, etc. So I will talk to you next week. In the meantime, make it a joyful week. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with other people. Thank you.